Welcome to day 7 of our 8-day course on how to use Historical Conquest, the game you purchased, to its fullest extent. This one is about our community. Now, I've told you about our virtual community, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these different places. But what about actually being in our community? We've solved that for you. So what we have today is what we call tournaments. Tournaments are where you go to a retail store or a church or some public place like a library, and you're actually able to play against people that already have the game. So beyond just playing with your family at home, maybe a brother or sister, maybe even one of your friends, you can actually go out into the community and play with other players, which is a great way of learning not just history, but socially, being able to meet new people. And these are all like-minded people. These are all very intelligent players because they're playing Historical Conquest and they like the game. So they got to be fairly intelligent because they're playing with history. That's awesome. And not many people can actually say that. So you go to one of these tournaments, and at the tournaments, now there's another way of claiming those rare cards that we talked about yesterday, and that's by going to a tournament. Every tournament you go to, if they go through us, if they do it by themselves, these aren't provided to them, but if they go through us, they get a rare card to present to every person that goes to the tournament. So by doing that, you get that rare card, that free rare card of that month. Now, because there was no way to get every single city in the United States to play instantaneously, right away, all tournaments, we decided that we had to create the rare card program. That's actually how that came out. But before that, the only way of getting this was at conventions or at tournaments. So now you have a chance of getting these rare cards and being able to grow your collection without paying for it. Most of the tournaments are free. Some of them, the people have to travel, have to put out a lot of expense to actually have the tournaments. And so some of them have asked for compensation back in order to be able to play the game. And so we work with all these people trying to get these games to be accessible to everyone. But, I mean, to be fair, some people, we have to pay them to help them to get out there and do this in the community because it takes a lot of time, and a lot of times it takes money. So by doing these tournaments and getting these rare cards, boom, you got a new rare card. Every time you go, you get something out of going. But every time you have a tournament, once a month, they have a contest, whether it's the tournament champion, it could be the youngest player. It can also be the oldest player. Yeah, if you want to bring grandma or grandpa in there and actually play a few games with them, please do. Because the winner of those contests during the tournament also get a prize. Whether it's a free playmat, whether it's a new starter deck that comes out, new expansion deck, new figures, any one of these things, it's because you came to our tournament and got a new rare card. You ever seen that one before? Reign of Terror? Want to check out. Anyways, so that's why tournaments are so important. It doesn't, if you play Historical Conquest at home, it'll get you to a certain extent, or a certain distance in your learning. If you add on there all these different parts, especially the tournaments, it gets you so much farther. It gets you further into history, but also any way you can learn from the game. Because everyone knows there's reading, there's geography, there's math. What about social? Why not social? That is a huge lesson that every youth needs to learn, especially how to cooperate and how to play with other people. Yeah, there's a lot of poor sports at times. People don't like losing games. But the more they play against people that know how to play the game, the more they'll have a chance to lose and learn the great benefits of losing a game. Sorry to say, you don't learn much from winning. If I did everything right 100% all the way through my life in business, yeah, I'd be millions, but I have no learning out of it. Because it's when you fail, it's when you fall down that you learn that you're doing something wrong. You need to change something. So if you can learn that lesson that, oh, I did something wrong, I'm going to change my strategy in the game. Let's say in the game. I'm going to change my strategy. All of a sudden you win the next time. That strategy worked. You just learned. And by learning those processes, you're learning more than just in the game. You're learning in real life that there's times you'll fall down. You get back up again, you do it again. Because you know at some point you will start winning. Anyways, so the tournaments are very important to go to. But we also have the ability of doing virtual tournaments. Our video game is coming out fairly soon. And when that actually comes out, we are actually going to be able to play virtual tournaments from all around the United States and be able to play against certain people and be able to master not just the game, but the history that we're learning. I don't really want to go into the game too much, too fast, but there's so much more learning that comes from it, more than just playing the game online. Beyond that, starting next year, we're actually going to have regional tournaments where your region, you'll be able to drive to this tournament. It might be another state away, but you can drive to this tournament and play tournament champions from other areas, from schools, from homeschooling, from families. The best of the best will come to these regional tournaments and you'll be able to play all day and hopefully get number one, become number one in the tournament champion. Now, next year it's just regional tournaments. We're incrementally going into this because we want to do everything right. And if we go into regional tournaments and perfect that system, the next year we can test the system that we produced, because then we're going to do national tournaments where we can fly you or you can drive in to a certain location and play within the United States. Now, this is just going to be the United States. We might bring some people from other countries in. We have Australia right now with the UK that are playing the game. We also had someone playing in Japan, actually a few people playing in Japan. So if they want to set up tournaments, I'd love to. I never heard back from them, but we've sent stuff there. So next, in 2 years, is going to be the national tournaments. Because 2020 is the biggest move we're going to do. Well, probably not the biggest move, but as of right now in our sights, it's the biggest thing that we're going to do when it comes to tournaments, and that's our international tournaments. We've already picked a place. We've picked out what we want to do, but we've had to put that to the side because when we could have done it all next year, we really don't want to mess up. So we're going to do the regional tournaments in 2018, 2019 national tournaments, 2020 international, bringing the world together to actually play Historical Conquest. And there's a lot of things there, but I just can't tell you yet. Sneak peek Thursday, sometime in the future. Look there. But, so, not to divulge everything that's going on, the tournaments are really important for a lot of parts of Historical Conquest. And especially getting to know the people that are playing. And by getting the people to know those people, you're learning another aspect in life and learning. So, tomorrow's going to be really fun because that's when we go into the future. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the things that we're doing in the future. So join us tomorrow as we go into more of how you can use Historical Conquest to its fullest extent. Now, today, please, if you can, and if you have a desire to, go to the links below this video and check out the tournaments that we have in your area. Hopefully we have them in your area. Some of them are not public tournaments. So if you have a question, email one of our ambassador coordinators. Ask them if there's someone in the area that does this. If they don't, here's a great thing. We call it the ambassador program. I'll talk about this really fast. The ambassador program is where we have fans of the game who host their own tournaments. We have a whole course that we're putting together on how to put together a tournament that is lively, fun, interactive, and you can do it consistently. So you don't waste too much of your time, you don't use up too much of your time putting this together. So that's really exciting because we want to get you to a tournament. If there's none in your area, we need your help to produce that. Whether it's you doing it or maybe you know someone that will host tournaments. Maybe in a game store. Because here's the great thing. If you become an ambassador for Historical Conquest, you can actually earn money on the side. And there's 4 different ways of earning money. Now, I did tell you earlier that there's some people that need compensation for the drive and for setting up this program. So they charge a little bit at the door, $2, $3, maybe $5. But at the same time that they might charge that, it really does help those people to host these tournaments. So please be open to possibly doing that. But in addition, if you want to become an ambassador, you can compensate yourself or ask for compensation for that time put in. But there's actually 4 different ways you can earn money off of this program. Yeah, you can actually earn side money. And this does not have to be an adult. It can also be a youth, but they have to be sponsored by their parents. So let me explain how you do this, how you earn money off this. So the first one is when you have your own inventory and you buy a package. We actually have packages that you can buy. You get them at a lower discount and you're able to sell them to people that come to your tournaments. The second one is where you come to, you take orders from the people that come to your tournaments, and the next tournament they come to, you can give them the stuff that they ordered. That way you have all the money up front and you can give them the stuff that they ordered. The third way of doing this is where you actually, instead of having inventory, you don't want the hassle of the first 2 that you did. Instead, you sign up a retail store and send all the traffic to them. They'll actually have the inventory on hand so they can buy it that day. But here's the great thing about it. That retailer, every time they make a purchase from us, if you got that retailer to sign up to start selling Historical Conquest, you collect a check every single time they order. So every time they order, you're able to collect that money, and you collect a percentage. It's a 10% for any order that they make. So if they make if they ask for $500 worth of inventory, you get $50 for basically just hosting your own tournaments. So those are 3 great ways. There's one more that's really important. And this is one that really gets out to your friends and family and people that are far away. Because you don't want to buy them product and ship it and all that hassle. Instead, we have a discount code. It's for 10% off. With that discount code, and each ambassador gets a discount code. With that discount code, you're able to send that code to any one of your friends. If you have a blog, you can put it on your blog. If you have it on social media, put it out there. Everyone that makes an order using your code, you automatically get 10% back. But here's the great thing: you're not the only one getting 10% back from that order. The person that purchased that order, they get 10% off as well. So if they ordered $100, they automatically get pay $90, and then you get 10% of that $90. How awesome is that? And that's for every purchase that somebody makes, and you have to do nothing to get it. You post it, that's it, done. Someone says, yeah, I'm interested in this game. Here's my discount code. Use that discount code, get a discount, and you don't have to tell them, but you get a kickback, a thank you for doing that. So here's the great thing about tournaments. It's not just the social aspect anymore. By doing the ambassador program, it's also an entrepreneur program. You can run a company, almost a franchise, and earn money off it, and run all the different parts of it, sponsored by your parents, or your parents can run it, and earn a good amount of money off of it. I have actually some ambassadors that get a good amount of money out of this. So what could be better? Okay, there's a lot of things that could be better. Chocolate, that's negotiable. Anyways, thank you for joining us for day 7 of our 8-day course. Tomorrow's the final day. Tomorrow we go into the future, and tomorrow we go into the future with Historical Conquest. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.